with these birds if you don't keep you and them separate. I found that out in Birmingham. You've got to keep the white and the black separate. You can never whip these birds if you don't keep you and them separate. I found that out in Birmingham. You've got to keep the white and the black separate.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
This gangster definition. 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 Feel it.
This gangster definition politician, robbing the hood, they on a mission. You the one who put us in this position. The system broke down, why won't anyone listen? Corporations make the decisions, and half you politicians need to end up in prisons. Cause you the real villain, true criminal minds responsible for the stealing. You are political thugs, doing more damage than the Crips and Bloods. Nobody move, nobody get hurt when them gangster politicians start putting in work. Yeah, we in the Fox News era. Take everything you got and scare you with terror. But I can thug too. You don't wanna battle me. It ain't about a salary. It's all about reality.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Political thugs.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Ruthless gangster definition, conservative. But I'm aggressive, progressive, lyrical murderers. They ignore us, they act like they never heard of us. Never hear us divided because they fear us. You see my vision right now is at its clearest. Back me in the corner again, I strike who's nearest. America, she ain't dead, I got the spirit. I scream at the top of my lungs until you hear it. Don't fear it, dig through the hypocrisy so you can find out who's killing up your democracy. Watch and see them thugs in harmony as they do everything they can to fuck up the economy. Yeah, we in the Fox News era. Take everything you got and scare you with terror. And now I'm sleepless, just like Seattle. It ain't about a salary, it's all about reality.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster
Political
definition.
thugs.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Ruthless gangster, my definition. The biggest gangsters in the whole world are politicians. They don't pay attention to poverty-struck society during election week. These motherfuckers lie to me. All of the people I know, check who living with the weak, they struggling. At the end of the day, point the finger at your government. I can remember when I was young, they said, don't sell out. Now I'm grown, I call the bank to make sure they don't bail out. When Katrina hit, the government just bailed out. What about in the Gulf when the oil spilled out? Or sending all these troops to Iraq to get killed? Weapons of mass destruction, the government is disgusted. Furthermore corrupted, hiding behind desks and some suits. Hiding the real truth from me to you. Here's the real truth from me to you.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster
Political
definition.
thugs.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Politician.
This gangster definition.
Political thugs.
This gangster definition. This gangster definition. This gangster definition. This gangster definition.
Peace, and peace again, family. Oh man. Me and Richie Let me open up real quick. Me and Richie, we gonna go in today, man. What it do, D-Red? What's going on? King Sirs, goddamn baby, what's going on, man? Man, yesterday we talked about the black community, and we talked about what it would take in a black community to actually want to deliver your people. And you know, I had 24 hours to sit on that and really think about this. And I just had a conversation with my wife, and you know, I was talking Bible and the scriptures, and I was talking prophecies and different things, and understanding the Bible from an allegorical text, and understanding that before I get into this, I want to break this something down. When you get the story of Christ came to set the captives free. He came to die so that you may live, you know, basically in the story. And he came up and went up against the world and had to die so that you can have everlasting life. The story of Moses took his people into the wilderness, and Moses never made it out, but his people did. Moses was willing to stand in the gap and take the hits for his people. And you have numerous stories like this all over the world, you know, depicted of people that wanted to be martyrs or people that stood before the people. There is no standing up for the people on a righteous cause of that magnitude in surviving. But see, this is the thing. You're not supposed to fear death. Death is honorable. There's no such thing as death when you live in righteousness. And the thing is, you know, our minds is conditioned by the ways of the world, and we're conditioned to live through fear, anxiety. They dope us up with this TV and drugs and all this kind of stuff every day. And now we're living through the system that they set forth. So, George, why are you saying all of this? You have black people that are coming to these spaces or come on TV that say, "Oh, racism is over. That was a long time ago. We should just let it go and move on." But we know that most of these people don't know the history. We don't understand how deep and far the rabbit hole goes. And I know with the algorithms and the way I titled this and what's in this computer and what I want to talk about, I know that a lot of people ain't get the message that I'm live. I know they didn't. I know YouTube is on this shit because I want to bring up some stuff and show some things tonight that and double down on why you have so many traitors in the black community and why we're owed reparations, and why if you decide to stand up and take a stand, just kiss your family, man. Man, you know, look at yourself in the mirror, man. Make that prayer to the Most High, man, and just know that, you know, I'm gonna take this walk, and I'm gonna decide to walk out like Khalid Muhammad. I'm gonna decide to take this stand, and it may cost me my life. It may cost me doing the rest of my life in prison, but it's going to be some pain. It may cost me Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz and Malcolm X's grandson dying. It may cost me Dr. King and Dr. King's brother and Dr. King's mother. It may cost some stuff. It's going to cost you something. It's going to see when Dr. King Sr. decided to look around at his conditions and decided to stand up and say something and do something. The Most High said, "I'll grant you these things, but it's going to cost you something." How much? What are you in this worldly way of thinking willing to lose? Or do you like your PlayStation 5s? You like your fancy suits and red bottoms and weaves and cars and the TV shows. You like all of this stuff, but at the same time, you complain about it. Or are you willing to so-called lose the world to gain everything? You got to make the choice. See, because when I told you, the minute Fred Hampton looked at his current situation and said he wanted to make something better for his mother, his sisters, his unborn children, He was already dead in this reality. He's already dead. We know about COINTELPRO. We know about the Minutemen. We know about so many different things that were set in place, man. You know, we know about Operation Chaos. We know about those secret armies that were set in place. And guess what, though? We know about the secret army organization. But guess what, though? Guess what? I know, but a lot of other people know too. A lot of your black leaders that come in here and tell you about this black and brown organization and we should unite with everybody, they know about the secret army organization that was funded by the FBI. They know about the Minutemen and Operation Chaos under the Nixon administration. After J. Edgar Hoover fell, they know all about this stuff. They know about the 1971 raid 5 miles from where I'm at right now in 1971 of the FBI building that blew up J. Edgar Hoover. They know all about it. They know all about the Campton 28. But how come y'all don't know about it? How come your black leaders don't bring this stuff up to the table? How come FBA don't talk about it? How come ADOS don't talk about it? COINTELPRO is still in effect in the minds of people, and understanding what COINTELPRO is, the division, the disruption, breaking up organizations, understanding what this thing is about. Brother Richie, you want to come in, man, before we really get into this? Before we get into this, you want to say something, Brother Richie, because I'll need the people to understand where you at is no different.
Well, again, big up to the people watching. Hit that like button as always. Today, as Brother George was saying, it's just about doubling down on the fact, because for me, we're always used to watching videos from the 60s, from the 50s, or from the 70s when it comes to this COINTELPRO. And to me, it feels like, and me and George have talked about this many a time, like we're reviewing something that has stopped happening. That's how it's talked about. You understand? Like, yeah, these are the cases of stuff that happened then. Yeah, this is how they infiltrated Black Panthers. This how they did Muslims. This how they did the Hebrews. But then there's this point where we kind of stop. And for the last like 20, 30 years, people's acting like it's stopped now. There's no infiltration. We've forgotten the fact that standard issue behavior for the government is to be in every single think tank, discussion group, and organization around the country, especially if we're talking black, let alone everyone else. So again, today, as George said, is about doubling down on that fact in your head that this is an ongoing agenda, an ongoing program. So when you see certain things from your community leaders, from your favorite YouTubers, from whoever talking certain talks, you know what you're looking at. Simple as that. Go to, brother.
Yeah. You look at, we get on YouTube, right? And you guys see a gender war playing off. Now you got a lot of women come on here and they talk about aborting black male babies and they have their agenda. Then you see black men. They saying black women ain't shit. Black women is this. Mute up a little bit, Rich. We got some feedback. Just a little bit. Yeah, you got people here saying women ain't nothing. Then you got the religious sects. Everybody's arguing and banging and disproving and disrespecting, and nobody's getting along. That's all traced to COINTELPRO. And then other black people are coming on and they spending years of watching. You giving your currency over to it, meaning your time, your attention. You're watching it. You begin to regurgitate and begin to practice these practices that you see play on YouTube. is all about mind control. So now the government don't even have to come in and make you do anything. They just send some people to come in and cause a disruption. So now if Richie is a Muslim and I'm a Christian, but we two brothers that get along, we can't have a civil conversation amongst brothers. We can disagree, but it can't be civil because the enemy that look like you will walk amongst you. The snake will come in slithering on his stomach with other people's agenda. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get off into it. And Richie, whenever you want to jump in, just jump in because I ain't gonna be able to see you.
Cool, family.
Let's see. Hold on.
Whatever channel you're on, hit that like button. Share the link. This is important information this evening. So show your love and support for this stream.
Top Cat. What's going on, Top? Yeah. We're gonna get it in tonight, man. We're gonna get it in, 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 man. I want to start here, right? Friend and rival. Now, I want to start here because I want to start here for a reason. And the reason why I want to start here because I want to show you what black sellouts do. And I want to show you what white supremacy does. Now, we know Frederick Douglass, and he's admired, he's loved. But Frederick Douglass is somebody that was given to you in history that everybody follows, right? And they say that Frederick Douglass was the father of black nationalism, right? But Martin Delany, we're gonna look at Martin Delany, and we're gonna talk about in the beginning why Martin Delany is not spoken about as I get into this, because I want you guys to see how history is given to us and what they've done. How I said yesterday, when I laid out yesterday, I showed you, I asked the question, Top Cat. I said, how could you be Angela Davis and be affiliated with an organization that's at war with the U.S. government, right? She's affiliated with the Black Panthers. They're at war with the U.S. government. You're fired in 1969 from UCLA. Then you're indicted with the on the Soledad brothers and George Jackson case because the guns that they used in that crime was associated to you. You get found not guilty, and then you go on a world tour all over the world and into different colleges and different places where you still had association. And you gonna tell me that you ain't the police or that you ain't somebody of privilege? Richie, where they do that at, Richie? Where's that done? Conspiracy.
That special Fed pass, boy.
I mean, my man Top Cat like to say black European. Is she a black European? I mean, goddamn. That's what my man Top Cat say. I mean, goddamn. I mean, I want to know. I want some of what she got. You mean to tell me I could be affiliated with the Bloods and Crips? I could. The Bloods can go do a drive-by and shoot 18 niggas, kidnap some judges, and the guns can be in my name. I can beat the case, but still be able to move around like nothing happened. God damn, that's a fucking amazing black person. That's a superhero.
That's real juice.
What kind of black person is that? In America? Hey, Top Cat, what kind of black person is that, Top Cat? I need to know. Somebody needs to tell me. Hold on a second. Hold on. One second, y'all. I need somebody to tell me what type of black person that is. I mean, you tell me that you could be part of a black revolutionary, a black part of a revolutionary army and be at war with the Black Panthers, bodies dropping everywhere. You go to jail for torturing black women and come out and get a college and come out with some degrees and go to college and Long Beach State and then create Kwanzaa. I mean, can I hang with Malana Karenga? I mean, goddamn. I just need to know. I need to know, Top Cat, how the fuck cannot be part of organizations that was at war with the U.S. government, considering me communists, torture people, go to prison, come home, and work at a university. What type of niggas is these? God, these some super niggas. I don't know these type black people. I don't know these people, Richie. I mean, goddamn. They gave Fred Hampton a bullet in the head. They let this nigga teach at a university. White people. Oh, man, let's get into it. In 1846, the famous abolitionist Frederick Douglass came to Pittsburgh. His purpose, he wanted to persuade a fellow African-American, Martin Delany, to become the co-editor of his new newspaper, the North Star. The editorial alliance of the two young men lasted only 18 months, but from the time of that meeting, Douglass and Delany would remain lifelong friends and often bitter rivals. Today, Frederick Douglass remained well known to many Americans. Every year, school children are assigned to read his autobiography, and his face framed by a shock of white hair is a familiar visage. Except to history buffs, though, Martin Delany has largely disappeared from view. And one will have to ask why. Why? Why would Martin Delany disappear from view, but Frederick Douglass be everywhere? One will have to ask. Even most Pittsburghers who work downtown have undoubtedly walked right past the historical plaque dedicated to him next to PPG Plaza. Yet Delany played an important role in the anti-slavery movement from before the Civil War until afterwards, and is known as the father of black nationalism. Why isn't he more visible? Historians who study the anti-slavery movement say it has a lot to do with the two men's storylines. This is where it gets murky. Some of y'all gonna get mad at me. I know it's Black History Month. Y'all not gonna like me. Douglass is known as an assimilationist, a champion of blacks being freed from slavery and then being given full rights and opportunity in America. Delany is for much of his life championed immigration of blacks as a way of achieving equality, first to Central or South America and later to Africa. Delany argued that blacks should leave because in order to achieve their rights, they had to form a majority in society, said Richard Bleckett, the Andrew Jackson Professor of History at Vanderbilt Nationals. That's not a message that resonates with most white Americans. Now, what Delany was saying was, at that time, you have to be there. What Delany wasn't no damn European. What Delany was saying at that time was, you're not going to get rights here because you're not the majority. And basically, they're never, ever, 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 ever going to see you as an equal. Now, Frederick Douglass is somebody that was plastered all over the place because Frederick Douglass was a assimilist, and Frederick Douglass was a part of that early on of trying to be a part of the society with whites. Where Delany was based, if you read the stories of Delany, man, I ain't got to bet you, man, nothing. He wasn't no damn white man. Go to your own thing and teach that. Don't teach that over here. I ain't got to bet. I know who the hell Martin Delany was. All right, well, go teach that on your channel, not over here. Not over here. Don't teach that over here. I don't teach that here. Teach that over. You keep putting that in the thing, I'm gonna time you out. Don't put that in my chat room. Hold on a second. Don't put that in my chat room. Teach that over there on your channel. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? Martin Delany had a strong personality, and unlike Garvey, Martin Delany actually went to Africa. Martin Delany wanted to get black people into a place where we were the majority, where we could create our own laws and do for ourselves. So you have to go back to that time and be around during that time back then. So when you look at them, don't look at the times for today and now. But I did all this because this is the thing, right? I want to read this, right? I want to read this. That's not the message that resonates with most whites or even many black Americans, said Lawrence Glasgow, a professor of black history at the University of Pittsburgh. There's a dominant theme of Americans, whether black or white, he said. That theme is that America is a great land and the story of your life is how you fit into the great story. And anybody like Martin Delany, who's one of whose dominant themes is to hell with this place. I want out. It's not heaven, it's hell. Doesn't fit in the paradigm, and people don't like to hear it. It makes a person sound like it's like a crank. Yet Delany was serious. Now I read all this. I'm reading this because I want you to understand something, right? I'm not dissing Frederick Douglass, but Frederick Douglass was somebody that the whites like to propagate and they put up in your face. It's a reason why you don't know who Martin Delany is. It's a reason why they give you the Garveys, but Garvey never made it to Africa. Martin Delany did. Now I'm speaking about this in this manner because the way history is given to us, they control the history. They control the information. There's a lot of things that they don't want you to know. There's a lot of people that they don't want you to know about. You don't have to agree with everything Delany did or said, but Delany was the one that was telling niggas, man, that was telling black people from the rip, the hell with these people. This place is hell. We got to get the fuck out of here. He said, we are never, ever, 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 ever until we can either overtake them. We're never going to be in a position. We're never going to be in a position where we can get equality from these people. Right. So I just wanted to start it off with that as we go along. Let me switch this back over. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me go back over there. Right. And as I said, it's no diss to Frederick Douglass, but what I'm saying is when you look at people like Octavius Cato, Martin Delany, Henry Highland Garnett, is the reason why they're not told in the schools. They give you certain white. What I'm saying is white people make sure they give you certain black people in history that they want you to know about. Go ahead, Richie.
I just want to double down on that fact that you're going to hear us, selectively talking about different people from black history. And everybody has their favorites, their different inspirational moments. But again, it is about being clear what we're trying to point out here. We're trying to point out that special flow of information and the way propaganda is the first line of warfare. Yeah. So again, it's not about demonizing, but it is about selective, recanting of information. I'm only going to tell you and highlight certain aspects of certain people's life for particular reasons. So please be clear on that when we're talking. Yeah, and when George is laying out some of these names that we're going to go through, because again, history is written in a very black and white context. That's part of it, where there's little gray area left. They want you to have a defined story. This person was good. This person achieved. This person didn't. This person was a sellout. But as I said, there's subtleties that we have to look into. And that's why, again, personal research is always the way. Don't take what we're saying. George can read whatever off the screen. But by all means, take these names if you hear about them and they sound interesting, and go and research them. Go true, brother.
Yeah, and this is the thing. And because see, I know our people, like, we got a problem with listening. And these two men were friends, lifelong friends, and they had arguments the same way we would as to how we should go. But what the white man did was step back and look and say, okay, we can use him more in history than we can use this brother. So they might take me and D Red and give us right. See, I give you an example. You might get me, D Red, and Richie. We might all be arguing, and the white man take the history books and say, hey, we're going to use Richie's. argument. We're not going to use D-Red. Well, all of us was brothers. We just argued at the application. Where Richie might say, let's stay in America and work with the system. Me and D-Red might say, man, let's get the fuck out of here, man. We never gonna have rights in this town. So what they did was they made sure you don't know who a Martin Delaney is. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. They control the flow of information. So I'm leading off with this for a reason. It has nothing to do with drawing sides on both of these people. I'm showing you what the system has done. Because the same way you know about Frederick Douglass, you should know the same way. Even when me and D-Red talk on the phone, the same way they give you Frederick Douglass every year in school and Harriet Tubman every year in school, you should know who Martin Delaney is. You should know who Henry Highland Garnett is. You should know who these people. It should be pumped up steadily. But they don't give you both sides. They don't give you both sides of the argument where you could be like, well, you know what? I like Frederick Douglass, but I thought Delaney had a better point. They don't give you none of that. They just give you Frederick Douglass. That's not our fault. That's the system that's in place. And I'm doing it to show you how they skew the history. So let's move on, because I don't want to really get into. I just wanted to just make this point before I start, right? And we're gonna get into this COINTELPRO, right? And I'm gonna show you what these people do, right? I'm gonna show you what these people do. Now, people always talk about this COINTELPRO and these which word I want to use? COINTELPRO and how people infiltrate different organizations and all this, right? So we're gonna look at. Go ahead, Richie.
No, agents. That's the word you was looking for. Agents.
Yeah. Now watch this, right? Watch this, right? Because I just hit regular wiki real quick, right? Because I want to just get to the core of it, right? COINTELPRO, right, was a series of covert and illegal projects conducted by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic American political organizations. FBI records show COINTELPRO resources targeted groups and individuals the FBI deemed subversive, including feminist organizations, the Communist Party U.S., anti-Vietnam War organizers, activists of the Civil Rights Movement, the Black Power Movement, environmentalists, and animal rights organizations, the American Indian Movement, independence movements such as the Puerto Rican independence, groups like the Young Lords, and a variety of organizations that were part of the broader New Left and unrelated groups. Now watch this, right? I want y'all to get this, right? I want y'all to get this because this is important. This is probably the most important part, this beginning part of what I'm laying out, right? In 1971, in San Diego, the FBI financed, armed, and controlled an extreme right-wing group of former members of the Minutemen, anti-communist paramilitary organization, transforming it into a group called the Secret Army Organizations that targeted groups, activists, leaders involved in anti-war movement using both intimidation, violence, acts. Now, I'm going to stop right there. See D-Red? What they did was the FBI used militia groups and former military men and let them form secret groups and secret organizations to go in and kill people, white people, black organizations. And then they come with this media and they blamed most of these people that you see on TV, people that shot Dr. King, people that shot presidents, people that shot and killed, they had nothing to do with it. These murders were carried out by secret organizations funded by the government. And then you hear black people come on TV. Oh man, that was us doing that. Man, we got to get ourselves together. We got to do this. No. They caused the problem, then provided the bandages. Then they controlled the media. The FBI used covert operations against domestic political groups since its inception. Now, before you had that, you had the OSS, who was also causing dissensions amongst the ranks and kicking up dust. But we're going to get into that. Covert operations under the official COINTELPRO label took place between 1956 and 1971. COINTELPRO tactics are still used to this day and have been alleged to include discrediting targets through psychological warfare, smearing individuals, and groups using forged documents by planting false reports in the media, harassment, wrongful imprisonment, and illegal violence, including assassinations. But this is the thing, right? People will say, oh man, he reading from Wikipedia, but I'm going to show you something, how they proved this in the COINTELPRO papers in 1971 when the whole thing was blown up. According to the Senate report, the FBI's motivation was protecting national security, preventing violence, and maintaining the existing social and political order. Now, before I go any further, I want you guys to understand something. The U.S. government went into prison and let Lucky Luciano out and sent him back to Italy, where he went in with his connections on behalf of the U.S. military to allow General Patton to come into Italy through the mountains to take out Mussolini. And Mussolini's henchmen who was killing and running the mafia out. The U.S. government made a deal with the mafia because the U.S. government and the UN didn't want communism to overtake Europe and a threat to the United States. So they made deals and they allowed the mafia and these different secret groups to go in and kill, destroy, and wipe out. And then anybody that was considered a communist was their ass. But yet and still, you believe anything that come on TV. You believe white folks. You want to be married to their women. You want to be a part of their Democrat and Republican Party. You love Joe Biden. You love all these people that's a part of these systems that systematically, they admit it, they don't lie, systematically destroyed your people in the name of national security. Because to be pro-black or to have a thought process like a Martin Delaney was a threat to national security. To want to leave here and no longer be a slave, even if you wanted to go back to Africa or leave here and go to the Caribbean, that was a threat to national security. If you spoke up about your true identity of being here in America, was a threat to national security. And you can be considered a communist or anti-American. Hold on a second. Here I come. All right. Or anti-American. It says, by beginning in 1969, leaders of the Black Panther Party were targeted by COINTELPRO and neutralized by being assassinated, imprisoned, publicly humiliated, or falsely charged with crimes. Some of these Black Panthers affected included Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, Zaid Shakur, Geronimo Pratt, Mumia Abu-Jamal, Marshall Conway. Common tactics used by COINTELPRO was perjury, witness harassment, witness intimidation, and withholding evidence. Now, this is the thing, right? Because I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to read no more. I'm going to get right off into it, but I wanted to just segue. This is well documented, D-Red, and they know it. But they're talking about race relations in this country. And when Joe Biden gets in office, the first thing he did was go and set up provisions for Asian people and for gays, not for Black people. When we have a well-documented history of what they did to Garvey, what they did to the Nation of Islam, what they did to the Black Liberation Army, and how we had sellouts and how they had government-funded organizations to go in and kill our people. But yet and still, when it came down time for pardons, They still having part in Mumia Abu Jamal. They still having part in Matunga Shakur. They still having part in Asada Shakur. You still have so many people that's been locked away for so long, since the 70s, that's forgotten about. So because you don't know your history, you let them get away with this. You let them get away with this. Nobody says nothing. But this is the question that I have. You have black leaders in position today that my man Top Cat call them black Europeans. That's in prominent positions. They know the same history that I'm saying. They know this history. They know that you had a black liberation army, Black Panthers, radical Christians, all as a defense mechanisms against white nationalism. It was for their survival. So when Clarence Thomas got in office, you think Clarence Thomas did anything to right the wrongs of these people when he got in position of power? No. When do you ever see Clarence Thomas speak up for Geronimo Pratt or Mumia Abu Jamal? Or get some type of reparations to Fred Hampton Jr. and his mother? Based off of what we know now, historical evidence has proved what the government did. So when I tell you that all black organizations are sold out and controlled by the FBI, y'all better listen. You better listen. This thing is way deeper than you understand. Oh yeah, hey Richie, they messing with this, John, boy. People ain't getting the sit. We had way more people in here yesterday.
Yeah, they blocked that shit.
Yeah. So look, right? So look, let's move this way, right? Now here I am. I'm in Philadelphia, right? Remember the 1971 raid on the FBI office in Media, Pennsylvania. Now, Richie, have you ever heard of this, Richie?
No, you was telling me about this earlier on today, innit?
Yeah, this is the raid they had, and I've been to the went and talked about this years ago because I live in Philadelphia, and Media, PA is 5 miles away from where I'm at right now, right? This is where they had a raid, and this is where they brought down. Hoover. Right? So let's look at this, right? Let's look at this. In Philadelphia, a group formed, including faculty members from Haverford College, and Temple University, to plan a break-in at the FBI office in Media to seize documents to try to find out what the FBI was doing to spy on and disrupt anti-war and other movement activities. Now, remember, back in the day, people was on the ground, man, putting in work. They didn't have time for this bullshit. They wasn't in the street just talking on a soapbox, talking about nothing. Damn. Talking about nothing. People was actually going in and doing the work, right? People was going in and and taking this government to war, right? Now let's look at this, right? Members of the Citizens Commission to investigate the FBI was prepared to sacrifice their careers and risk criminal prosecution and imprisonment to carry out this direct action against the government, waging war in Vietnam and suppressing civil liberties of American citizens at home. The burglary was planned for the night of March 8th during the televised fight of the century between boxers Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. It was hoped the heavily promoted boxing match would distract security guards and police, which it apparently did, and meticulously detailed a rehearsed plan required overcoming last-minute obstacles and surprises, but succeeded in removing large quantities of documents from the FBI office. In the stolen documents, the activists found that not only the FBI infiltrated and kept reports of all kinds of feminists, labor, students, and civil rights, as well as anti-war groups, but the FBI was engaged in a deliberate attempt to intimidate and so paranoid. Hold on for a second. Well, now, why did it just do that? Hold on a second. to intimidate and sow paranoia within those groups to try to disrupt their legal and constitutional protected activities. Now, Richie, did you hear what it said? It said they want to intimidate and sow paranoia, right? But within these groups today, Negroes are scared to death because you got black people that come here that create these type of thought processes and divisions amongst our ranks. And we're going to get into that. FBI agents spent taxpayer dollars to compose and send anonymous letters to activists threatening them and spreading lies about others in their groups. FBI agents were proud of this work and bragged in their reports of their success, like breaking up marriages by spreading lies about alleged infidelities. One famous FBI effort involved anonymously threatening Martin Luther King to kill himself to avoid disclosures about his personal life. Now, this is the thing, right? In these documents, it said that they would break up marriages. They would break up marriages and bragged about by spreading lies about alleged infidelities. Hey, Richie, how many niggas? That's what I'm gonna call them, niggas. You heard come on YouTube talking about some Dr. King was having a extramarital affairs. I can prove it. We got the paperwork. Well, in these FBI documents, they're telling that they forced this shit and wrote it up. And you niggas that come on YouTube in front of your own people and say, well, Dr. King was sleeping around with all these different women. We can prove it. But the FBI reports and blowing this stuff up is telling you what happened. They telling you what happened. They lied. We forged this stuff. We even created animosity amongst white groups that was racist, but wasn't really dealing with black people. They created things and saying the niggas is coming to kill you. They told black people the crackers is coming to kill you because they wanted to keep us fighting amongst each other. Because see, when you look at Fred Hampton, when Fred Hampton was telling them white people in the movie, you poor. They send you to war to die. They give you the same foods they giving me. They giving you the same drugs. They got you out in Vietnam with me. What makes you any better than me? These elites don't care nothing about you. So what the FBI did was come and draw even more distinction amongst the ranks. This is in the papers. One famous FBI effort involved anonymously threatening Martin Luther King to kill himself to avoid disclosures of his personal life. So they said, Dr. King, kill yourself, or we're going to put this shit out here that you fucking around on Coretta. And we're going to destroy your whole image to the world. And in all these years later, you got niggas coming on YouTube saying Dr. King was fucking these white women. They even put that shit in a goddamn movie, Barbershop. And everybody thought that shit was funny. But nobody ever told you about this raid in 1971 when they went in, or how they brought COINTELPRO down. How come this is never being talked about or told? D-Red, how come they never bring this up, D-Red? They always come in here. They always coming in here. Dr. King did this. They put that shit in the movie. Everybody thought it was funny. Everybody was laughing. Everybody was laughing. But yet here, well and documented, the activists made copies of the most outrageous documents found in the FBI files and sent copies to the media and to members of Congress they hope would take action. Most of the media and congressmen, however, including the New York Times and Senator George McGovern, returned their copies to the FBI. Hey, Richie. And black people really think that you're going to go to this goddamn Congress and get fucking reparations without having a unified front or leverage to force them to do something? You just going to go out there and say, hey, we want reparations. Hey, Richie, they raided the fucking building and they brought injustices to the people that's supposed to give you justice. And those same people took that shit back to the devil and gave it to him. They sent copies to the media and to members of Congress they hope would take action. Most of the media and congressmen, however, including the New York Times and Senator George McGovern, returned their copies to the FBI, fearful of being accessories in possession of stolen property. That's a motherfucking lie. Only the Washington Post, among the mainstream recipients, seriously considered the public's right to know what the government was doing and concluded that the documents should be reported and published. The publication was stolen. The publication of the stolen documents in the Washington Post led to congressional hearings that used the documents to discover and expose the FBI abuses and reveal its COINTELPRO effort to disrupt legal activities of citizens. The Washington Post decision to publish was precedent for its decision to publish the Deep Throat leaks that exposed Watergate scandal, which led to the resignation of President Nixon. Meanwhile, the FBI was furiously trying to identify and arrest the activists who had stolen and exposed these documents. Did you know the photocopies include a microdot that the FBI can use to trace the copy to a particular copying machine? They quickly discovered that the copies of the documents had been made at Haverford College and Temple University. Oh, shit. Hey, look, y'all. Although the FBI was never able to identify and arrest the participants and the break-in at the media FBI office, they believed that their arrest in the Camden 28. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever heard of the Camden 28. I need everybody on both channels. If you ever heard of the Camden 28, put a 1 in the chat. If you didn't, put a 2. If you ever heard of the Camden 28, put a 1 in the chat. If you never heard of the Camden 28, put a 2 in the chat room. We're going to find out. We're going to find out just what these Negroes is really teaching our people. Have you ever heard of the Camden 28? Let's really, and be honest. Be honest. Ain't no shame. Let's be honest. Let's see. Hold on. Because watch this, right? Watch this. Although the FBI, I read that. All right, look. The break-ins, they believe that their later arrest in the Camden 28 case. Now, this is important, y'all. This is important. This is important. Because see, you're gonna see how crafty this man is. And we gotta really break this shit down and really see, because we're gonna talk this 80 stuff. We gotta know this. We gotta really know what we up against.
Right. Bullets and bandages. Bullets and bandages. They're providing both ends of the scale. Keep that in your head as you're listening to this part of the case.
They believe their later arrest in the Camden 28 case most likely included the media burglars. The Camden 28 had conspired to break in and disrupt Selective Services Office, engaged in involuntary conscription of young men into the U.S. military. A brilliant legal defense of the Camden 28, led by my colleague at Temple Law School, Professor David Kyries, succeeded in obtaining a jury verdict of acquittal for all 28 defendants in all criminal charges brought by the government. Now listen, right? It was not disclosed until the release of the 1971 documentary that the Camden 28 defendants actually did include 2 of the media FBI burglars. Now I'm gonna tell you what happened. They broke into that shit and got that, but it was so much other stuff in them documents that we don't know. And I guarantee you a deal was made turn them fucking papers back over and we'll let your families live and we'll let you go. They already knew. See, they already knew. See, what I'm saying was what came out is what they wanted you to come out. But when you have an egregious act like this against the government, they don't let you live, and I'm going to prove it to you. They don't let you live. Are you serious? You broke into the FBI office, stole documents, indicting the government, gave it to a congressman, and he gave it back. They indict you, and all of a sudden, everybody just beats the case. But we think we allegedly got some people that may have robbed the FBI building. Nah, they'd have put charges on them and made it stick. But you got to understand what's really going on. Watch this. Watch how we do this. Past behaviors by the FBI should affect how we view the more recent disclosures of Edward Snowden regarding the extent of government surveillance. History teaches us that the U.S. government is not composed exclusively of high-minded people scrupulously respecting the law and the constitutional rights of their fellow citizens. Are you serious? This government was founded on death, destruction, despair, war, rape, thieving of land. And so what are you talking about constitutional rights? There is no constitutional rights of fellow citizens. It's do what you told or they take you out the picture. The government consists of individuals, and individuals are always capable of abusing power. So let's look over. So this is the burglary that brought down COINTELPRO in 71, right? In 71. Then you had the Camden 28. So I want y'all to take down, and I want you guys to look up. I want you guys to look up the Camden 28. Look at this shit.
Yo, I gotta say this as well. Remember this as well. What you're looking at, remember, is the actual government, white entities battling amongst themselves and getting exposed. If we bring it back to black, which we're gonna do again shortly, you're gonna see the stark difference of how things go. So keep that in your head. What we're looking at right now is white on white crime. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So look, right? So I want to show y'all something, right? Now it says it was not disclosed until the release of 1971. So 71, they hit the building, right? They come out with these documents. Then they want to hit another building, right? To come out with how they fraudulently sending young men off to war. They get caught. The government knows. Because remember they had those dots and they knew what colleges it come from. So they indicted 28 people. They know who did it, but they go to court and they get off because deals is made under the table. So let's go here. Let's go back to the wiki page, right? Let's go back. And let's go right here again, right? Let's go here before I show you what I want to show you. In 1971, the San Diego, the FBI financed, armed, and controlled an extreme right-wing group of former members of the Minutemen, anti-communist paramilitary organization, transforming it into a group called the Secret Army. The SAO was a short-lived right-wing paramilitary organization in Southern California, set up in 1971 in the aftermath and the breakup of the Minutemen, grouped by local law enforcement. The organization received a Federal Bureau of Investigation sponsorship for its establishment until the 1972 dissolution, engaging in various acts of violence and intimidation during the time. The Secret Army organization was headquartered in San Diego and consisted of around 12 local members, which is a lie. Its creation was a product of meetings held October 17, 1971. Its leader is basically telling you what they were doing, right? And Davis worked with Central Intelligence Agency during the Bay of Pigs. They hired these people to come in, criminal activities. In 1971 and 72, the secret army organization engaged in a variety of criminal and provocative behavior. They firebombed cars, burglarized the homes of anti-war protesters, and ransacked places of work, as described in the San Diego Union. The SAO was centrally designed and externally financed infrastructure designed for terror and sabotage, whose actions were sanctioned by the nation's most powerful and highly respected law enforcement agency, the FBI. This is some of your people. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put him back. Hold on a second. Let that come in. Why that picture come in so slow? Hold on. Those are your Minutemen. Let me go here. Here we go. A strange tale of the secret army organization USA. A lot of these people in these groups was funded to come in and shoot our people, disrupt, do a whole bunch of stuff, man, that they're not telling you. But when you watch TV, the stuff that you see on TV, you think that that's the truth. But really, they had these people coming in kicking up dust. Before you had this group, before this group formed, you had this group called the Minutemen. This was in the 60s. The Minutemen claimed success despite arrests and loss of guns. They used the Minutemen to go in and kill groups and do different things, blow up stuff, kill white people and black people, disrupt different things. And then when they was done with them, they put them in jail. They put them in jail.
Expendable assets.
The Minutemen, simple terrorist warning. The Minutemen, traitors beware. Anybody that they deemed communist was considered a traitor, and the federal government would send these people to go train paramilitary people to come and kill people, shoot them in the head, shoot them in the back. These guys was ex-military. They was good shots. So let's look up what the Minutemen was before I actually show you what the fuck happened. So people don't think that we bullshitting around. Hold on. Minutemen was a militant anti-communist nativist organization formed in the United States in the early 1960s. The founder and head of the group was Robert Depew, a biochemist from Dearborn, Missouri. The Minutemen believed that communism would soon take over the United States. The group armed themselves and prepared to violently suppress persons and groups they deemed un-American. The Minutemen organized themselves into small cells and stockpiled weapons for anticipated counter-revolution. They was funded by the government. 1968, Depew was indicted by the federal grand jury in Seattle. Right? But watch this, right? This is your Minutemen people, right? And they say that they was anti this, right? What does it say right here, Richie? What does it say right here, Richie? Let's go back because I want to prove my point. What does it say? Hold on. It says in 1971, the FBI financed, armed, and controlled a right-wing group of former members of the Minutemen. The Minutemen was a militant group in the 60s. When they was done with them, they put them in prison. Now, the Minutemen was able to go around through the 60s and kick up dust and do certain things, right? I told y'all, these people was able to move around and they had secret governments within governments, secret militaries within militaries to go do dirty work. Let me prove my point for people that still not getting it. People are still not getting it. The American Civil Liberties. So this is an article, right, from the New York Times, right? The New York Times wouldn't lie, would it, Richie? The American Civil Liberties Union completed today a report for Senate investigation alleging that the FBI Bureau of Investigation recruited a band of right-wing terrorists and supplied them with money and weapons to attack young anti-war demonstrators. Now watch this, Richie. They said that they wanted them to attack young anti-war demonstrators. Now, do you believe that that's all they was attacking?
Come on, bro.
The 5,000 word account prepared for the Senate Select Committee of Intelligence contains what ACLU lawyers describe as newly established evidence, purportedly linking the FBI to at least 2 assassination plots here. The lawyer, Peter Young and Mark Rosenbaum of the ACLU Foundation of Southern California, said the allegations said the allegations to be sent probably tomorrow to the Senate committee. Document and details the FBI sponsorship in 1971 and 72 of a San Diego group calling itself the Secret Army Organization. Told the ACLU's assertion, a spokesman for the FBI said that the Bureau had nothing to do with the establishment of the SAO, nor did we have anything to do with the direction of its activities. We had nothing to do with this. We didn't fund this. Listen, right? According to the ACLU report, the secret organization was set up on instructions of FBI officials to serve as agents, provocateurs. We heard that before, right? Agent provocateurs, inciting disorders as a means of exposing domestic radicals, particularly campus leaders and new left protesting the war in Southeast Asia. The paramilitary extremist organization consisting of about a dozen members of locally with others scattered throughout the Southern California was described by the ACLU as an outgrowth of an elaborate espionage apparatus organized at the direction of Richard M. Nixon. Oh, we agreed to get to Richard Nixon early in his administration to intimidate and silence domestic critics, all in the name of national security. See, I'm going to tell y'all something, right? If you want to have a reparations argument, you're going to have to understand the proper ways that these people attack you. And when I come out and I talk, right, and I tell you guys that if you want to be a leader and you want to stand out amongst your people, you got to listen. You run the risk of your house being burned down. You run the risk of coming outside your house and somebody just run you over with a car. And next thing you know, you're on the news. Nobody know what happened. Nobody's seen shit. They hire these FBI and CIA agents to come as rogue militant groups to come kill you, man. The government did it, but man, we ain't got nothing to do with it. They ain't got nothing to do with it. They come right in and wipe you out, bro.
It was a radical. That's what they say, and that's the language. It was a radical. It was a left wing. Someone just didn't like George's message. Just took some shit, and it just got him hyped. He was a loner. He came out of nowhere. He took George out. You know what I'm saying? It's a one-away case. Don't worry. Lock him up. He was crazy. Ain't that the usual case that you hear? Yeah?
Man. The group's acts of terrorism allegedly carried out in San Diego on instructions of the FBI range from espionage, vandalism, mail theft, and bombing assassination plots, shootings, according to the FBI. So the FBI let them run wild, right? The ACLU charged the following by 2 days, the FBI's acknowledgement in the 256-page indictment document that it conducted counterintelligence operations between May and April 1971 under the code name COINTELPRO. They were aimed at the new left and designed to harass and discredit campus anti-war leftist groups. Now, I want y'all to understand something. They did the same thing in these black organizations, and they're doing the same thing on YouTube now. People, no, matter of fact, let me save that part before when I get to our side. The ACLU maintained, however, that the FBI sponsorship of the secret army terrorism continued into 1972. Now, someone asked the question, George, this is boring. Why are you telling us this stuff? This stuff is killing my brain. Why are you teaching us this stuff? Well, what I need y'all guys to understand, right? If they was doing this to white people practice on college campuses and across America that was protesting a war, what the fuck do you think they was doing to black people that they deemed threats? People that they are already killed, Dr. King, the Black Liberation Armies, and people that was and black people that was at war against the government, the MOVE, the different groups. What do you think was happening? Why do you think these groups? Now, when I showed you the Minutemen, right? The Minutemen were groups from the 60s that carried over into the SAO in the 70s. But let's look. Let's go deeper. Uh-oh. Oh, my God. Oh, uh-oh. How the COINTELPRO and chaos. How the FBI and the CIA suppressed dissent in the 60s. The massive programs designed to discredit the counterculture and mainstream and maintain the status quo. Now, before I read this, right now, they had something called the Black Identity Extremists that came out a couple years ago because we was interrupting the flow of information. That's the steady flow of information that's been given to us. Now, remember how I showed Martin Delaney and I showed Frederick Douglass and basically two good brothers, but how they give the information in the manner in which they want us to have it. Well, when you come and you want to break up a well-organized machine, you got to expect some pain. You got to expect war. It's war coming behind that because they want to maintain the status quo. They want to maintain national security. They want to keep you in your place. They want to keep you. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let me bring it back over here. They want to keep you in your place. They want to keep you. They want to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind and out your mind. They want to keep you in positions of forgiveness. They don't want you to know the history. They don't want you to know this. So now me teaching this is boring because I'm not hollering. I'm not preaching. I'm not giving you, I don't have no music on. I'm telling you exactly what you need to know to understand how you got black traitors amongst your midst and how going to Congress and the Senate won't get nothing done if you don't have unity. I'm telling you how these foundational Black American motherfuckers, this ADOS, and all these different groups are agents of chaos. I'm ready to prove it to you. The FBI counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, 1956 to 1971, and the CIA Operation Chaos. How many of y'all put a 1 in the chat room if you heard of Operation Chaos? Put a 2 in the chat room if you didn't. It's fine if you didn't. It's fine if you didn't. Put a 1 in the chat if you did. Put a 2 if you didn't. Operation Chaos worked independently to spy on, discredit, infiltrate, and sabotage new left black extremists, socialists, communist organizations, and white hate groups. Both chaos. But you know what's funny? They put that at the end, Richie. White hate groups. The fucking white hate groups was the leaders of Operation Chaos and COINTELPRO.
By default.
This is the joke of it. See how they squirm that in there and most people will miss it? And white hate groups. Well, the purpose of me doing this is showing you who the white hate groups are. You know who the anti-white hate group was? The Camden 28. Them white college kids, them hippies that ran in there and exposed the white hate groups that they had to make a deal with. There you go. Watch this, right? Both Chaos and COINTELPRO predicated on the guise of uncovering foreign interference in these organizations, but in practice, Chaos, COINTELPRO. See, a lot of people heard of COINTELPRO, but not Operation Chaos. Spied or any people and organization deemed as hostile to the status quo. So I'm giving you, right now I'm reading to you what they was doing to white people, but they said organizations that was hostile to the status quo. Black nationalism is hostile to the status quo. Black nationalism is illegal. That's why Martin Delaney, way back in the 1800s, said, yo, we got to go somewhere where we're majority black. We're not going to get nothing done here. Martin Delaney knew that way back then. He said, man, I'm not sitting up there next to them white people. We need to make our own. We need to get some land of our own. Martin Delaney said that way before there was Elijah Muhammad. But they make sure you don't know about Martin Delaney. Then you got people coming in, Martin Delaney was a white guy.
Legacy killers.
But but that's the same dude that's the same guy that come in here and say Dr. King was fucking around on his wife with no proof, when we know in the COINTELPRO papers they made this shit up and threatened and tried to force him to kill himself or they was going to ruin his reputation. It's in the fucking papers. It's documented. Every week they know it. But you got Negroes on here because the white man said so. Man, and then they get a couple black people. Man, this thing is way more diabolical than people can begin to even imagine, bro. Hold on. See, we get the twos. People don't know. And that's fine because we're gonna go more. We're gonna go deeper. Much more is known about COINTELPRO than chaos, probably because of the massive destruction of documents in the CIA and their lower of the level of public accountability. They they learned from what happened in 1971 here in Media, PA. They destroyed the documents, Richie.
Yeah,
they was killing niggas, hanging people. They was doing all kinds of wild shit under the Nixon administration. While much of these activities sound like a harebrained conspiracy, both the Senate Church Committee and the Rockefeller Commission uncovered some, but not all, of the FBI and CIA domestic political operations. These investigations were spurred by journalist Seymour Hersh of the New York Times articles detailing CIA operations at home and abroad. Operation Chaos began under President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1967 and was consolidated in 1969 under President Richard Nixon, who combined CIA's various but desperate domestic intelligence program. CIA agents infiltrated anti-war, Black liberation counterculture, and socialist organizations. The CIA's charter forbids it from operating on American soil, making chaos outright illegal. Chaos was not the CIA's first domestic. Listen, y'all. Chaos was not the CIA's first domestic program. As far back as 1959, it had recruited defected Cuban exiles to take part in what became the failed Bay of Pigs investigation in 1961. Nixon, who could not understand the popularity of the anti-war movement, was convinced that foreign support must have been behind them. He saw the movement as a threat to his power, especially as he secretly expanded the Vietnam War into Cambodia and Laos. The program gathered an index of 300,000 Americans and 1,000 organizations. By 1973, there were 7,200 thicker files on individuals filled with information gained from wiretaps and interception of mail. Now, I want y'all to understand how important that is. You got the in fact, the not fucking around crew. You got ADOS and foundational Black people all on YouTube, people signing up and they doing everything. Did y'all just understand what I just read to y'all? I don't think that y'all just understood what I just read. I'm gonna read it again for those of y'all that's working with slow gases and slow, because I know some of this stuff is boring, and I know our people, a lot of our people, more. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Yeah, I agree. Hold on. I'm coming, Richie. I'm switching it back.
Yeah,
over.
cool. Listen,
Yeah.
I don't care how boring you think it is. Remember, the whole point of this is to show you that these tactics are still going on. So while you're hearing this information, think about now and the similes that's going on in your head. That's the point right now. Yeah, draw them similes.
So look, right? So they had the program gathered an index of 300,000 Americans and 1,000 organizations. By 1973, there were 7,200 thicker files of individuals filled with information gained from wiretaps and interception of mail. So if they was doing this in 1973 with the technology they had files on A. Philip Randolph. They had files on Bayard Rustin. They had files on Dr. King, Malcolm X, Sundiata Acoli, Mumia. They had files on everybody. Everybody was being watched under these operations, right? Secret operations that was illegal. They had. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can make this bigger. They had these guys that was part of the Minutemen that was carrying out murder, firebombing in the 60s, in the 60s, in the 70s. These people was part of paramilitary groups that was funded by the FBI. But then they'll tell you, well, Lee Harvey Oswald did this, and this person, we think this person shot King. Man, bullshit. Bullshit. Why you think when it comes to Dr. King and Medgar Evers and who pulled the triggers, they don't know who killed A.D. King in the pool? They don't know. These people was hired to come in and do the killings. I told y'all this, man. But you niggas want to believe whatever the system say. Oh man, you think you a Democrat or Republican and you think that your vote count. Do you know that Creepy Joe love the Nixons and all that? He come up under them niggas. He come right in the 70s. They all part of all of this stuff, man. They had files. They had files on all of our people, man. They have files. Not on white folks, black folks. See, I think that y'all need to understand something. White people, hippies back in the day was kicking up dust across America. Shit was going down. They was fighting against their parents, man. They wanted to be free. They was against the war. They wanted to stick it to the man. White folks too. They had files on. They was killing what the government was killing white people. The FBI was funding these groups. In 1969, an internal report found that there was very little evidence of communist funding or training such movements, and no evidence of communist direction and control, and that the motivation behind anti-establishment movements was political and social alienation, not foreign influence. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger disputed the findings of the report and advised Nixon to continue the program. Of course. Operation Chaos finally ended in 1973 in the wake of Watergate, which was in part carried out by former CIA agents at the behest of President Nixon. Public knowledge of chaos was actively suppressed until 1974, when the article by Seymour Hersh of the New York Times broke the story and incited a congressional hearing. Now, how come Nixon never went to jail, Richie? This is supposed to be illegal on U.S. soil. Between 1956 and 71, the FBI spied on and sabotaged groups that they saw threats to national stability. The FBI surveilled and harassed Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, A.B. Hoffman, Malcolm X, Jane Fonda, and Martin Luther King, as well as the Communist Party of the U.S., the socialist workers, white power groups. See again, white power groups.
I see you pause up on that one. You couldn't even get that one out before you had to pause on that one.
And white power groups. These are the fucking white power groups. See, listen, I just went back here and I just showed y'all. Let me go back again. One more time. The FBI has used covert operations, right, against domestic political groups. It says here, 1971, in San Diego, the FBI financed, armed, and controlled an extreme right-wing group of former Minutemen. Let's pull up the Minutemen. Why my pictures keep going away? What happened to the picture I just had? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. For some reason, my pictures keep leaving me. Let me put them down here real quick. See if they up in there. All right, well, let me do it this way then, because I don't know what the hell is going on. Let's look at this. These are your gangsters, right? They was funding your gangsters, right? These men right here probably the ones that killed Dr. King, but hey, what the fuck do I know? He probably shot Medgar Evers in the back. Hold on a second. This is images. Let's pull them up. Why are they coming up so small? Hold on for a second. I need the bigger picture. Hold on, let me see. Here we go. The leader of the militant men organizations, Robert Depew left, and an assistant, Walter Person, leave the U.S. Commissioner's Office after being ordered to Missouri Wednesday, captured by FBI agents Saturday. Now, mind you, these are the same people, Richie, that was funded and hired by the government to do dirty work. Then they lock them up. Then they take men from the organization, create a whole new organization, and fund that group. Let me put this back down here.
Candidates.
And fund that group.
That's it.
Let's go back. Where was I at? Let's go back. It says plausible deniability. So it says black liberation groups. It says white power groups, black liberation groups, the New Left, and anti-war groups, broadly acting against groups that saw potentially dangerous. The FBI infiltrated non-groups like Martin Luther King Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the SCLC, and violated the First Amendment rights of thousands of Americans. But this, look at him. He ain't got no lips. You know he a reptilian. Look at him. He don't even look human. Look at him. Look at his neck. He look like a gecko or a lizard or something. He don't look human. He look like something wrong with him. Look at his eyes. That man, please. I don't know, man. And these governments, the Bureau went beyond the collection of intelligence to secret actions designed to disrupt and neutralize target groups and individuals. The techniques were adopted wholesale from wartime counterintelligence and range from the tribal to degrading and dangerous. The church committee said. Look at this. Look at these pictures. This is the Black Panther Party coloring book, allegedly produced by the FBI. So now this is propaganda that they gave the white people. Right? In order to paint the pictures of black people as violence. They wasn't telling white people that these groups was killing blacks all over America and blacks was defending themselves. Blacks had to create systems to defend themselves, right? The first step The first, COINTELPRO was a sophisticated vigilant operation aimed squarely at preventing the exercise of the First Amendment rights of speech in association on the theory that preventing the growth of dangerous groups and the propagation of dangerous ideas that will protect the national security and deter violence. The first step was infiltration. Undercover agents joined organizations posing as legitimate members, not fucking around crew. Other other gathered intelligent groups on the group's discourse, aims, and connections. Now I want y'all to understand something. You got a lot of people that come onto YouTube today. They talk about, they come on, they naming names, they howling loud, they showing guns, they coming in, they got a bunch of people walking with them. These people are being taken pictures of. These people got a license to carry. They're being put in the FBI database, and they're using this guy to be the front guy. You got other people that got large YouTube channels. Everybody coming to watch. And then they come on here, everybody arguing, right? And I want some of my sisters and brothers to understand, when you get caught in this gender war, listen, the first step is infiltration. Undercover agents join organizations posing as legitimate members and gather intelligence on the group's discourse, aims, and connections. Once embedded in the group, agents would try to push members to be more extreme or violent and pursuing their goals. Agents spread rumors about the genuine members and tried to sow internal conflict and get members to splinter the group. Once the word got out that the FBI was infiltrating counterculture organizations, agents would accuse genuine members of being agents to increase their social status of the group. Go ahead, Richard.
You gotta go back. You gotta go back because you there's a part there at the beginning. Start that again, because again it talks about them coming in and them being the ones to encourage the violence. I need you to read that again for the people to understand.
The first step was infiltration. Undercover agents joined organizations posing as legitimate members and gathered intelligence on the group's discourse, aims, and connections. Once embedded in the groups, agents would try to push members to be more extreme or violent in pursuing their goals. Agents spread rumors about genuine members, trying to sow. Wait a minute. We hour and some changing already. Trying to sow internal conflict to get members to splinter the group. Once word got out that the FBI was infiltrating counterculture intelligence, agents would accuse genuine members of being agents to increase their social status in the group, as well as kick a sincere member out. Now, I want to attribute this to YouTube today. YouTube today is where we're at every day. We're not watching TV. We're not in the streets. A lot of people are on YouTube. This is where we communicate with each other across the country. So now the FBI is sending agents in to come in and neutralize our movements. So now they'll come in with FBA. They'll come in with, you got guys that come in and they anti-black women. You got these women coming, they anti-black man. That ain't nothing. And listen, let me tell you something. Some of you sisters are hurting. Some of you sisters been abused. Some of you brothers been abused and you're hurt. But these people are taking advantage of you psychologically, and they're using your pain to further alienate and drive a wedge and drive us apart. A lot of these people are government agents, man. They specialize in psychological training of the mind and how to constantly feed your emotions and feed your pain with this information on YouTube, because this is where we at. This ain't the 60s. We communicate now on YouTube. So the FBI is all in here. See, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people are pointing to the not fucking around dude, not realizing that a lot of these women and dudes with these big channels are FBI agents as well. They FBI agents as well. They got a lot of you women telling you to abort babies and black male babies. If that ain't agent provocateur shit, I don't know what it is. You got guys on here saying that they see black women get beat, that's their fault. Black women is this, and they just hate black women. That's agent provocateur shit, because they join dissension amongst the ranks. This is what they do. This is the new way. The tactics is the same. just different technology in the way that they're using it. Asians would try to make organizations appear more extreme to alienate popular support and make them more of a target. Here on YouTube, positive, loving stuff we don't support. We support all things debauchery, things that take us to our lower selves. Nothing that's moving the crowd to us to do anything. It's actually it's not the information. It's not moving black men and black women to come together to get reparations. The information on these black YouTube spaces is making us hate each other. Agent provocateur shit. This is FBI. That's why I come out and tell y'all, man, stop supporting these channels that's anti-black men and anti-black women. Stop it. You got to really investigate and understand what's happening here, man. For example, Black Panther leader Fred Hampton was murdered by Chicago Police Department at the behest of the FBI, who apparently could not significantly disable the Black Panthers through other methods. So look at this picture. Dr. King Jr. was perhaps the biggest target of COINTELPRO. From 1963 until his assassination in 1968, Dr. King was constantly monitored and harassed by the FBI. Why? J. Edgar Hoover, director of the FBI, seemed to have a personal vendetta against Dr. King, often deriding him in speeches as a liar. Dr. King's organization, which was explicitly nonviolent, was most likely perceived as a threat to white hegemony in the United States. Obstinately, the FBI was spying on Dr. King and the SCLC because of suspected communist infiltration, in which there was none. You wanted to say something, Richie?
Listen, again, I'm seeing people see that it's a psychological warfare, but remember this, yeah? This is how deep the rabbit hole is, and this is what we got to remember. They've already fought ahead to the situation that you're in, that is making you respond by creating these movements. They're already 5 steps ahead because they're the ones that created the fucked up situation that you're in, that you need a Black Panther Party, you need a Martin Luther King, you need whatever. So imagine they've already created that situation. You think you're responding in a in a spontaneous way. Yeah, I'm not having it no more. I'm going to start my movement. I'm going to start my channel. I'm going to do my thing. They've already assessed, thought that one out. And again, in this digital world, as George is saying, it's 10 times easier to infiltrate you now and come back again and then encourage you to do more shit. And as George says, steer your mind state, steer your channel, steer your Facebook page, your little book group, whatever, into different modes and ways of, again, mashing up your own community and your own mind state. Yeah, bullets and bandages, key element. Keep that in your head. They're providing both, whether you're getting shot or you're getting stitched up. It's them that's doing it. Go to, brother.
The deep fear of communist subversion, created in part by Joe McCarthy and his Red Scare, was very real during the mid-1960s by advocating for radical ideas like the repeal of Jim Crow laws and discrimination-free voting. Dr. King made himself and his organization a target. Martin Luther King at communist training school. Look at this shit, man. Look at the stuff that they put out. Look at damn. Well, I don't even know if that's her or not. The FBI carried out massive surveillance campaign against Dr. King in 1973 with the approval of Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. The FBI wiretapped King's phones as well as those of his associates in the SCLC and his close advisors. FBI agents admitted to placing recording devices in motels and hotel rooms in which Dr. King stayed on 16 different occasions. At every turn, the FBI attempted to sabotage Dr. King and the SCLC through the press. They tried to discredit him and his ideas. They lobbied universities and churches to renege on their social and financial support of Dr. King. They tried to cut the flow of the money. Now hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me do this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me do this for y'all. Let me do this. Give me 1 second. Let me type this in. I type slow. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Let me see. I might have to come back. I might have to get this one a task or come back. Because I'll come back. I'll come back with it. Hold on a second. Let me reshare the screen. Because I want to show how the black churches turned their support from Dr. King before he died. They turned on him. And that was all part of the COINTELPRO, because I want y'all to see what they did, right? It says they lobbied universities and churches to renege on their social and financial support of Dr. King. They tried to cut the flow of money to the SCLC. The most brazen attempt to make Dr. King disappear is in the letter below, very likely written by an FBI agent. A draft was found in the desk of a high-ranking agent. The letter was sent with audio recordings of Dr. King's supposed participation in orgies. Now again, for you niggas, N-I-G-G-E-R, niggers, for you niggers that come on YouTube to talk about Dr. King and his orgies, it's well documented that the FBI fabricated these stories and wrote letters to try to discredit Dr. King. How come y'all never come with this shit? But y'all come on here. I've heard women say, I had to kick women out my chat room for that shit. I've heard women say it. I've heard guys say it. What is wrong with y'all? Where do we get this shit from? A draft was found in the desk of high-ranking agent. The letter was sent with an audio recording of Dr. King's supposed participation in orgies. The only way for Dr. King to avoid the release of these tapes to the press, the letter suggests is suicide. This is the letter. This is the letter. I'm not going to read this whole letter. Let me see if I can read some of it. Let's see if we can make it a little bigger. How do I help? Interview low grade. I can't. Yeah, let's see. King, like all frauds. Wait a minute. Okay, we can read some of it. King, look into your heart. You know you are a complete fraud and a great liability to all us Negroes. White people in this country have enough frauds in their own, but I am sure that they didn't have one at this time that is anywhere near your equal. You are no clergyman, and you know it. I repeat, you are a colossal fraud and an evil, vicious one at that. You could not believe in God and act as you do. Clearly, you don't believe in any personal moral principles. And you got black folk that are coming double down this shit. Black people come in our spaces and teach this shit and believe it. King, like all frauds, your end is approaching. You could have been our great leader. You even at an early age have turned out to be not a leader, but a dissolute, abnormal, moral imbecile. We will now have to depend on our older leaders like Wilkins, a man of character. And thank God we have others like him. But you are done. Your honorary degree, your Nobel Peace Prize, and other awards will not save you, King. I repeat, you are done. So this is a letter that was in the FBI table that they wrote to try to get King to either kill himself or stop doing the things that he was doing. But you got people that come on YouTube. You got people that come on YouTube and double down on this shit. And I done gotten arguments with people. About this kind of stuff, man. And I'm telling you, man, people have been propagating and teaching this stuff for years, man, and it's sad. Hold on a second. People have been propagating and teaching this stuff for years, and it's sad. We got about 20 more minutes. The FBI infiltrated and sabotaged the Black Panther Party. I'm gonna save something. The Black Panther Party, Socialist Workers Party, the Nation of Islam, the Ku Klux Klan, and various new left organizations with intent of destroying or disarming them. I'm not gonna read the rest of this. I want to go to
break down for part 2, brother.
No, what I'm gonna do is I want to read this other article first. But before I do that, I want to bless y'all with. I want to come here real quick. And I want y'all to listen to Fred Hampton himself. I'm gonna call you in about another 20 minutes. Just give me it, and I'll be around here. Yeah. And I want y'all to hear from the chairman himself, not from that bullshit movie that they gave you. But I want to get y'all. A lot of y'all never heard the chairman speak. We want to get the chairman's perspective on things. This is an interview from October 9th, 1969. Let's listen to it.
Fred, where does the Black Panther Party stand concerning the Weathermen, the SDS?
We stand way back from the SDS and the Weathermen because we believe that the Weathermen action, there's two actions. There's RIM 2 and Weathermen. We think they call them both national action. We think that RIM 2 is national action, Weatherman is national reaction, you know. We think it is anarchistic, opportunistic, individualistic, it's chauvinistic, it's customistic, and that's the bad part about it. It's customistic in that its leaders take people into situations where the people can be massacred, and they call that revolution. It's nothing but child's play, it's folly, and it's criminal because people can be hurt. We say that they're doing exactly what the pigs want them to do. When they take people down and just do nothing, play around, and the pigs are prepared for this, and they'll wipe all of those young people out. We think these people may be sincere, but they're misguided, they're muddleheads, and they're scatterbrains. The only way we can show them is to criticize them like we're doing right now, and then leave from here, go to the federal building and have a demonstration that's to educate, a demonstration that is disciplined and organized, you know. And that's what we're gonna have to do, and let them see the examples.
Tell me why you feel the approach of the SDS Weatherman is wrong.
I feel it is wrong, just as I said before.
No, don't tell me just you said before. That's why I asked you again. Just answer it straight, just in case we use this part.
Now, mind you, this 1969. So we know that Operation Chaos is in full effect, and we know that white man is an agent provocateur. We already know this is 2 months before the death, before the murder of the chairman. So they was already setting them up. So they got this jackal up there interviewing them. But you get a chance to hear things from his words in the perspective and not that bullshit movie.
Let me ask you again. Why do you feel that the approach of the SDS Weatherman is the wrong approach?
I feel that it's wrong because it's pig action. You see, they're doing exactly what the pigs want them to do. They're leading people into a situation where it's an astronomical situation, too great for the people to deal with. It's a situation where you got a bunch of mechanical pigs with 357 magnums and shotguns and mechanical mace and all that type of thing. And then they're talking about they're going to carry on the revolutionary struggle. That's not revolution, it's insanity, it's a madness, it's nostalgia, and it's a massacre. That's what potential massacre, that's what it is. And we don't support that because we've said all power to the people. All the power is manifested in the people. We don't have any people whose lives we believe that should be thrown away.
Has the Weatherman SDS...
I gotta stop right there, real quick. And what I told you guys yesterday, he was a dead man walking the minute he said power to the people, and he began to care about the people. He wanted to change, and he wanted to unify people across the board. He was a threat to white national security because they thrive in chaos, and they wanted to plaster. They made sure that they put this man all over the news, everywhere. He was young, charismatic, and I want you guys to understand something. Not only Did he get killed? But what they don't tell you is, and I'm gonna show you guys when I read this article. Gang members in Chicago and in St. Louis and in different places at that time was also trying to kill Black Panthers too. The motherfucker sided with the government. He was a dead man walking by his own people and by the government because he loved his people. That's why the allegorical message of the scripture, when I always tell y'all in the Bible, when you read the allegory of the message, when they took Christ to Pontius Pilate said, I see no fault in this man, but his own people wanted him persecuted and killed. His own people, because he loved them so much. And that's why the allegorical message on the cross, Christ said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. You gotta understand the story of the scripture. The story of Moses. He led his people through the wilderness, but he never led them to the promised land. He led them through the wilderness, but they left out to the promised land. Moses didn't make it. So when you stand up with your people, you got to be willing to die. You got to be willing to sacrifice it all so that the people you love can have everything. But when you have soldiers like this, that was in the struggle, how is he remembered? That's up to us today. How is he remembered, man? He decided to stand up. He decided to say something. And he was going to be persecuted. There's no surviving. You want to save people so they can have a better life. You got to die for it. You got to die for it. To set the captives free, you got to die. Let's listen to some more.
Tried to get you to go on their side. Have you met with them, and what happened?
We met with the Weatherman faction of SDS several times. We've had ideological struggles and we have ideological differences. So what we did was we had the other faction of SDS that agreed with the Black Panther Party called for an alternate action, a well-disciplined action not to provoke pigs, an action not to talk about setting up confrontations with the pigs, because the people are not ready for confrontation. These confrontations that they have are premature. They're politically premature, and they're wrong because they commit people in a situation which they're not anywhere prepared for.
Well, why do you think the Weatherman SDS tried to link the Black Panther Party to its movement?
I don't know if it was actually the Weathermen of SDS. I have to say that it was the establishment press that is nothing but a tool of Warden Nixon's machine. We call him Warden Nixon because the whole world is a penitentiary, and he's just a warden of the whole world. And you see, these people are just an arm that he uses for fascist oppression, you know. And I think today, these fascist news media might have did that.
Now, briefly, how would you sum up what the Weatherman SDS is trying to do and what you think of what they're trying to do?
I'd say that basically they believe that white people need to learn how to struggle, that they believe that these white workers need to learn how to struggle through confrontations. I have to say that basically I believe that this is incorrect. I believe the white workers have been struggling. They're some of the most violent people in the world. I believe that what they need is they need a redirection in their ideology and in their politics. They need to know who to struggle against. The workers need to start to begin to learn that their job is to struggle against the bosses. And until they do this, then struggle is incorrect. It's like no struggle at all. We say that if you don't struggle correctly, you shouldn't struggle. But you should struggle. We said dare to struggle and you dare to win. Dare not to struggle and you don't deserve to win. But we have to struggle properly.
What about the special approach of Weatherman, which seems to be violence?
Did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all hear this? He's I'm gonna let you right back up, Rich. I know you fell off. He said he's asking him about the Weathermen, and he's saying that the government came in and doing that. But he's also telling white people back then, you mad at us, but you should be mad at the government. Yeah, white people talk this affirmative action shit. Well, black people ain't got nothing to do with that. Affirmative action that was supposed to benefit black people is because of white tyranny. White people should be mad at the government, not black people. Yeah, it's displaced anger. He's dropping his science. He's telling you. Let's listen some more.
Well, you see, I don't think it's really violence, you know what I mean? I think it's just a lot of folly, it's a lot of child's play. I think that to have violence, you've got to be able to cope with violence, you know what I mean? And that's what the Black Panther, see, the Black Panther Party, a lot of people say we're violent. We're a self-defense organization that believes that the people should be educated what's going on. Yes, we do defend our offices and we do defend our homes. This is a constitutional right. Everybody has, there's nothing funny about that. The only reason they get mad at the Black Panther Party when they do it is for the simple reason that we're political. And they don't want to admit this. There are a lot of young organizations around, but we are a political organization. We are an organization that understands that politics is nothing but war without bloodshed, and war is nothing but politics with bloodshed. That it's just like you stretch something, and it goes, you can stretch things, they're going to be in another thing. If you stretch politics so long, it'll be war. And that's where we're at.
Well, then why do you feel it's so important for the Black Panther Party to disavow any real link with the Weatherman SDS?
I think it's important because there are a lot of people that watch the Black Panther Party for examples. They observe us and participate with us. And if we can be connected up with this, then it would be very unadvantageous to the people, and it is very unadvantageous to the struggle, in that people that claim to be revolutionary would be going down roads that they think might be revolution. But
listen to me. I need y'all to really understand this on why I'm playing this. This is 1969. This is a 22-year-old black man. Listen to his vocabulary and the way he talked, and how he's engaged, and how he's on it. And in the last 50 years, how they turned our 22-year-olds, and even in my time, they turned us into gangsters, and we're seeing ourselves as the enemy. Look at what they did and why they had COINTELPRO and Operation Chaos. It was to disrupt this thought process of young black men of understanding their roles and the intelligence. That's why I created Urban Nerds, to bring this thought process back. I don't think that people really understand how young this man was. When I hear him talk, I'm like, damn.
in fact, they're not rules of revolution. They'll be going east when their intentions are going west. And also it's important because the chairman Bobby Seale is in town, and he's being tried by this fascist judge Adolf Hitler Hoffman, and he's being tried without a lawyer. And we've got to bring all of the attention and focus on this trial that we possibly can, so that people can understand that these people are more capable of building gas chambers than Hitler ever was capable of building gas chambers. And we're going to have to get together. We're going to have some anti-gas chamber marches, and some anti-fascism marches, and some anti-Hitler Hoffman marches, and some anti-Mussolini Attorney General Mitchell marches, and some anti-Daley and some anti-Hammerhead marches.
We need more young men with the thought process like this today. And with the event of the Coke era, like I said, like I laid out yesterday, around 1971, you start seeing Superfly. Me and my uncle and my dad had this conversation. My dad was around. My dad was a grown man during this time. And my dad told me, he said, they was on the ground, Cecil B. Moore. They was in the streets fighting. Soon as 71, 72 came in, my uncle became a heroin kingpin. He wasn't on that Black Power revolution shit no more. He was selling dope. He was chasing hoes. He was riding in Cadillacs and buying houses with pools in the back in Delaware. He wasn't on a Black Power. He was bringing brothers into his heroin organization. That was over with. But they orchestrated that. They orchestrated that after 69, going into 70, 71, when they started the infiltration with these different groups coming in. They put the drugs in, and they took a lot of our black radicals that were smart and intelligent on the ball, and they started promoting this heroin culture. And that's when your Superfly came in, your black exploitation movies and all these movies came in. Now you want to be Superfly, you want that Cadillac, you don't want to be Fred Hampton no more. You want to be be like my uncle. You want to be like them people. It was a different time. And I'm lucky enough to be able to sit down and have these conversations with my dad and my uncles that's in their 70s, that's from that time, that tell me exactly what happened. I don't have to read it in the book. They say this is what happened. We went from being gangs and associated with the Black Liberation Army in the 60s to being gangs associated with cliques and drug kingpins, going to prison, meeting up in prison. We're not reading the books no more. We're not on the revolution no more. It's about the money now.
These are the things we're going to have to do. The people need to be educated. If they're educated, we can resist and we can stop this fascism.
All right, thanks for giving us the second shot. Okay, good. Okay. Fred, the weatherman branch of the SDS seems to be giving the impression that the Black Panther Party is with them.
No, the Black Panther Party is not with weathermen. Let me explain very clearly that we believe that action like that is action of insanity. It's not a revolution even. You see, going out in the streets and getting people shot and killed and maimed, that's insanity.
Hold on a second.
It's chauvinistic and it's custoristic. And when we say custoristic, we mean it's a type of...
Let me stop playing. Let me bring Richie back in real quick. Hold on a second. Bring Richie back in. Then we're going to go to this last part. I hear you, Taz. Every time. Hey, he was going in. Hey, listen, man. White man made up all kinds of words that he forced us to use today, so we can say what we want. Shit, you know, white man dictate what words are smart and what words ain't smart and all that type of shit. Now, fuck that, man. That nigga was smart as hell. He was smart as hell because we say so. Man, white man control the flow of information in these fake ass in these colleges through H.S. Chamberlain and all this kind of stuff. Johann Blumenbach, Madison Grant, the rise of the great race. They created all this information that got people believing that shit as real. Man, fuck that, man. If he say that shit, if he say use them words, man, fuck that. Then I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it. Fuck that, man. I'm rocking with that shit because they created a whole narrative from the Huxley brothers, all the way down to Oswald Avery. All them motherfuckers created this shit that we forced to follow to believe that's intelligence. Man, fuck that, man. That's they shit. That's they shit. We speak with seasoning salt. Our shit got some swag to it. It got some jive to it. We don't talk like them. They create this bullshit.
Maybe that's why they're always reviewing the dictionary every few years. Add our shit to it.
Yeah, now it's Ebonics. Now they want to put Ebonics in the school and all that shit, man. Fuck
right.
that. Man, he was speaking that shit. He was speaking that shit with some seasoning on it. He wasn't saying, well, you know, you guys, and that bullshit. Back to you, Dick. All that shit is corny as hell, man. And they try to overanalyze shit to make it seem like it's some smart shit when it ain't. Hey, I'm Dick Gumble, and we're here today. We're standing in front of, man, that shit be, man, get the fuck out of it with a fucked up haircut and a cheap ass suit. And people look at that shit like it's some smart shit. Oh, man. That's what they do, though. That's what they do. And then we get up there and we talk, man, listen. Man, we talk, and the man, when we talk, because we ain't them. We come from different cultures and customs. They force a language on us that we forced to speak. We don't talk like them. That shit don't sound right. You hear white people talk, they stress their words, especially them Beckys. They talk, yeah, yes, and you guys, man, get the fuck. I hate when I hear them Beckys talk, man. That be some bullshit. That shit be boring, it be corny as shit. 12 words. No, you know when them Beckys talk, yeah, and you guys, and man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, man. I mean, they be on some bullshit, man. Listen, man, we ebonically inclined, man. We go in there, listen, we go in there, we talk jive, we say exactly the same shit that them crackers say. We just say it in our own way. And we got our own money, our power. We can speak our own language. I don't want to talk like Becky and Tom. Yeah, her voice sounds like she's scratching the goddamn chalkboard and be stretching it real long. I'm coming over there. I'm about to come see you. Look, Midtown. I'm about to come see you. Black people like, I'ma come see you. I'ma come see you, fam. I'm gonna come see you. I'm about to come see you up there. I'm gonna come see you, fam, right there. We sorting it right there. IMMA about BUT. Come see you. We sorting it right up.
We on quick solutions, mate. That's
but we gotta talk. We gotta talk like them We gotta talk. Back to you, Dick. Man, listen. No, but Taz, no, I'm right. We don't talk like them. We never did. We don't even know how to talk like them. It don't even sound right. Hi, I'm George Macon, and I'm here. And back of me here is the fire that took place, and Keisha Bottoms fell down the 14th flight of steps. That shit sound crazy. We be like, hey, listen, I'm standing outside at 142nd Street. Keisha just fell down the steps. They down the street fighting. There's a building on fire. They be out there, butt cheeks all tight, chest out. We're out here and we're in Harlem. And I'm Dick Rabinowitz. And that shit sound crazy. We be ready to turn the channel.
It's all part of mind control. It's all part of mind. Look how many of them slave movies you see back in the day, like the Amistad and whatever, where they got a slave. They're trying to make them think that
he wasn't trying. He didn't fail. You know why? Because his point got across. It wasn't he was trying to sound smart. The whole thing was everybody already knew his stance and what it was. Whether he was trying to sound smart or not, he didn't fail at all. Because the thing is, some other stuff that was coming out of his mouth didn't matter because the work that he was putting in already spoke before he even opened his mouth to speak. His work speak. His actions spoke louder than his lips. So even if he was trying to sound smart, the cracker knew how dangerous he was. That's why his fate ended up being what it was. So that's what I'm trying to tell us. We can use whatever we want to use. When our work speak louder than our lips, man, I can get up there, man. I can get up there and talk like Don King. That's
and it's still gonna work.
It's gonna work, yeah, because you're a threat. That's all I'm saying. Let's get back to it though. Let's get back to it so we can get out of here. All right, let's get back to it. This is the last part. So we can get out of here. Because I think I covered them. Y'all got me laughing this shit. Hi, I'm Tom Edelberg, and I'm sitting here in Southwest Philadelphia where 4 Negroes were just shot. And behind me is OG Mudbone. And you know how they be when they be in the hood and the camera, they go, all right, go. Oh, man. Y'all got me cracking up, man. Hold on. Where am I going? All right. Hold on. Where am I going?
Further down.
All right. I'm right. I think I'm starting right here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna read this article and then we'll be done with. We've been here for a minute because I actually got a part 2, and I've been here for a minute too. I didn't know I was here this goddamn long. The latest revelations about surveillance are not only the most recent in a string of periodic public debates around domestic spying perpetrated by NSA, FBI, and CIA. This spying has often targeted politically unpopular groups and vulnerable communities, including anarchists, anti-Christ, anti-war activists, communist leaders. All right, government surveillance programs, most infamously, the FBI, COINTELPRO targeted Black people. So it's basically going to tell you again like what happened, right? Targeted Black Americans fighting against segregation and structural racism in the 50s and 60s. COINTELPRO, short for counterintelligence, was started in 1956 by the FBI and continued to 1971. The program was a systematic attempt to infiltrate, spy on, disrupt. So I want you to look at this. Spy on, disrupt activists in the name of national security, while initially focused on the Communist Party. In the 1960s, its focus expanded to include a wide swath of activists with a strong focus on the Black Panther Party and civil rights leaders such as Dr. King. FBI papers showed in 1962 the FBI started and rapidly continued to gravitate towards Dr. King. This was ostensibly because, see, I can't even say that word, Taz. Taz, you smarter than me. You know that. You can say that word. Some of these words I can't even say. Because the FBI believed Black organizing was being influenced by communism. So they tried to use the communism of saying that saying that it was being influenced by communism when it wasn't. But that was just their way to infiltrate our organizations. In 1963, FBI Director William Sullivan recommended increased coverage of communist influence on the Negro. However, the FBI's goal in targeting Dr. King was clear: to find avenues of approach amid the neutralizing King as an effective Negro leader, because the FBI was concerned that he might become a messiah. What's the name of that movie that came out, Richie? Judas, was it Judas and the Messiah? That's the name of the movie?
Yeah, so shit.
The Judas and the Messiah, right? And they saying that they don't want to see another Messiah. So they came and they attacked Dr. King. They came and they attacked Dr. King on all levels, right? Hold on for a second. Let me do this real quick, because we got a bunch of people in the George Macon 2 side. And wait a minute, because I gotta get this channel to 1,000 subs. They was at King. Yeah, they was at his neck, Taz. Hey, everybody, if you ain't subscribed, everybody hit this link in the George Macon 2 channel. Go over to the George Macon Experience channel. And I'll give you y'all links over there. I'll give you y'all yeah, hold on. I'll give you y'all my links over there. I'm at 948. I think I need like 52 more to get 1,000, to get to 1,000, so I can monetize the George Macon Experience channel. So I go live on both channels, because I know you Negroes going to continue to keep coming over here. What's up, T Christopher? Hit that link, T Christopher, and come over to the George Macon Experience channel and watch it from there. So we should see the numbers going down over here in the George Macon 2 channel. Hit that link, go on that side and watch it from over there. There's only 16 people over here. I got everybody on this side. But this channel's not monetized. I'm trying to get that channel monetized. So let's keep reading. Yeah, Taz, they was at Dr. King neck, because Dr. King was the most dangerous. The FBI subjected Dr. King to a variety of tactics, including bugging his hotel. So we went to that part: blackmail, suicide. The FBI, it says that hold on a second. It says the FBI also specifically targeted the Black Panther Party with the intention of destroying it. They infiltrated the party with informants and subjected members to repeated interviews. Agents sent anonymous letters encouraging violence between street. I want y'all to listen to this, right? I don't think FBI shouldn't be involved. But well, see what it is, Taz. Our idea of a black messiah is totally different than the crackers' idea and what he want. So like, we can't compare our mindsets to what he want. I understand what you're saying, but he ain't thinking about it from the way you're thinking about it. He's looking at a black person that would lead us to destroying his system. What you're saying is something totally in different context. So I get it, but the jackal ain't thinking that way. He ain't thinking that way. Now watch this, right? How important this is. How important this is. Agents sent anonymous letters encouraging violence between street gangs and the Panthers in various cities, which resulted in the killing of 4 Black Panthers and numerous beatings and shootings, as well as sowing internal dissension in the Panther Party. Now, I want y'all to understand something. Like I told y'all, Fred Hampton was dead before he even knew he was dead. And the sad part about it was because he was in Chicago. If he was in Chicago or New York, he was already dead, because the ability to unify those projects and those people. I mean, you got projects that got 28, 30,000 people in them. You can galvanize and bring these people all into these different places, right? And once he's able to unify these gangs, he becomes even bigger than the ones in Oakland. He has more say-so. He has the people. He has the firepower. He had to go, bro, because he was sincere. But you had, like I told you yesterday, you had black leaders that was locked up, that came home, that separated themselves from any thought of black militant groups and went to teaching colleges. Everybody else went to jail and died. But their goddamn leader, who he loved so much, was a goddamn agent. Yeah, we know, we see you, Bobby. We know who you was. The agency we also know Richard Accoy, who Bobby was cool with, who was an FBI agent from 61 to 71, selling the guns. The agency also worked with police departments to harass local branches of the party through raids and vehicle stops. And one of the most disturbing examples of this, FBI provided information to Chicago Police Department that aided in the raid of Black BPP leader Fred Hampton's apartment. The raid ended with the police shooting Fred Hampton is dead. So then we come down here. The church was not alone in targeting civil rights leader. The NSA engaged in domestic spying that included Dr. King and erringly president's statement. Senator Walter Mondale said he was concerned that the NSA could be used by President A in the future to spy upon people, to chill and interrupt political dissent. Well, they've been doing that. The church committee was created in response to these and other political scandals and was charged with getting to the bottom of the government surveillance overreach. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want y'all to understand something, right? Don't think that this stuff is a thing of the past. They still doing this shit now. They still doing this shit right now. Right now. That's why they had the black identity extremists. They watching everything that you do. They know who is who. Right? That's why as soon as I seen dude come on TV with the gun, man, we gonna do this. And first thing I told Taz that time when I came on this platform, I said, Taz, we seen this shit already. He doing something that was done 50 years ago. You ain't fooling me, nigga. You talking about some you the not fucking around crew, and you on TV, you on YouTube with a gun? Oh man, what the fuck? I knew you was the police from the rip. Today, we're responding to those domestic surveillance abuses by an unrestrained intelligence branch. The overreach we've seen in the past underscores the need for reform, especially during Black History Month. Let's not forget the speech. Let's not forget the speech in the U.S. government spying that has targeted communities of color. So let me see. When I come back, I'm not going to do this article here. I might send this one to Taz and let him do it. I might email this one to Taz and let him do this one. But this is a more recent of what they're doing. This is a more recent article of what they're doing. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this one. I'm gonna get this to Taz and let Taz go on this one. But I'm gonna unshare the screen because I've been here for 2 hours. We've been here a little long. Man, make sure y'all supporting, man. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App, man. $ Urban Nerds WW, man. All your little nickels and dimes, man, count, man, for what we're trying to do, man. We got 56 people in here, man. And if y'all haven't subscribed, come make sure y'all get over. Yeah, I'm gonna send you that, John Taz. Make sure y'all get over there on make sure y'all get over here, man, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, man. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, but we definitely need y'all support, man. And what we're trying to do. Richie, you want to say something before we get on?
Yeah, real things happening. As man said, these are not unsuccessful things that they're doing. These are real ongoing situations that they're creating and being successful in. Do me a favor, George. Share my screen, please.
Okay.
Very quickly. Yeah, tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon for you guys in the Eastern time, 5 p.m. for you guys in America Eastern, 10 p.m. for UK people. Again, after all this conversation, you'd think this question is a simple one. Should we as Black people trust the government and their systems? But based on vaccinations, all sorts of things going on, it's still an ongoing conversation. So tomorrow on Black Eyes TV, I'm going to be having an open panel show. You should see my brother George over there. You'll see me over there. Anyone who wants to voice their opinion, the link will be in the chat. Jump on. I think brother Unk from the Raw Squad might be attending. So again, if you've got any queries, if you want to voice your opinion on it, please come over, support the channel. You get me? I've pushed up the link a couple times in the chat. Black Eyes TV 7. Appreciate you for listening and think carefully about what you're watching and who is rolled out in front of you. Big up again, George. Support Urban Nerds.
He said, drop put your channel link in the thing, Richie.
Oh, one second.
Put your channel link in there. Hold on. Bring this. Come back in on this side. Trying to give. I was trying to give Taz it wouldn't let me give him a wrench. Yeah, so we do these streams because I think it's important, right? When we talk about when we talk about ADOS, when we talk about ADOS and we talk about foundational black and all this different stuff, and for years, for a while now, different B1 channels have been talking about teaching this stuff and going in and telling y'all about different organizations that were set in place. And I think it's important. If you never heard of Operation Chaos, if you never heard of the Minutemen, if you never heard of the secret armies and all the different things that the feds is documented that they supported, that was going around killing people, even black people in the 60s and 70s. You don't understand what's happening now. And the reason why I show this, because it goes to show you just the traitorous Negroes that we got that know everything that I'm showing. They never fucking mention it. They don't teach it to our children. The Jewish community makes sure that their kids know their history. They don't tell us none of this stuff. They don't tell us how they had people infiltrating. Nobody knows who killed Dr. King's brother in 1969. He just found dead in the fucking pool. But then when I show you Operation Chaos, at the room get quiet. They was hiring mercenaries, paramilitary men to go kill black people. Nobody knows all of a sudden who killed Dr. King. They shoot all the Kennedys and Medgar Evers and all these prominent ministers. They shooting them down. Nobody knows shit. But if you don't understand the tactics of how we attack, and you able to know the names of these groups that's come at us, then we ain't gonna never get nothing, because that's the stuff that unifies us. So I'm telling you, so many of y'all get mad at me or Taz when we say, yo, we did not fucking around crew alone, because a lot of y'all love black people so much, you just want to be a part of something. But you don't understand how these groups are infiltrated, and you got black traitors amongst your mix that come right in the mix to disrupt, disorganize, and lead you to hell. That's what they did in the Black Panther Party. A lot of them brothers got killed, man. Young brothers got killed. Okay, hold on. I think I just seen it. Yes, thank you so much, Tamika Christopher for the Cash App. Thank you so much. That goes directly to Urban Nerds, man. Every Cash App that y'all send goes directly to the Urban Nerds Foundation account. Or y'all can go to the website too. Yeah, but these people, y'all gotta understand, stop blind following. These people come on YouTube, they get these large followings, they get in the algorithms. YouTube doing it on purpose. They got 10, 12, 15,000 people watching them. YouTube is picking these people up and placing them in these algorithms because they want the people to be watching that. They don't want people watching this shit. Why would 17,000 people be over here? No, that's not what they want. They want 15,000 people over there, because it's not teaching black people to unify, come together, and making us the best versions of ourselves. And this system of capitalism is not. So when you see these groups, nah, man. Nah, it ain't grassroots. We ain't on the ground. They the police, bro. I just showed y'all what's happening. They the police. Y'all mad at, a lot of people mad at William O'Neill for setting Fred Hampton up. Are you fucking serious? Fred Hampton was set up by way people higher up than William O'Neill, amongst his ranks, his bosses, big time gang leaders in the city of Chicago, being the head of gangs with 20, 30,000 members. You think that they wasn't FBI controlled? Stop playing. Be leery of the stuff that you see on YouTube. I'm telling y'all, listen to me, man. I ain't hating. I'm just telling the truth. I'm telling y'all the truth. These YouTubers that spread dissension, that spread the gender wars amongst black people during this time when we got all these, when we got a COVID, we got this COVID bullshit, we got shootings in all our cities across America. We got all kinds of things going on, and all everybody want to do is fight. These people is the police. YouTube is where the action is now. YouTube is where if rappers blow up on YouTube, they can blow up everywhere and rap. YouTube is the new TV. This is where they comes. The FBI has infiltrated this. And they allowing these groups to come and flourish. They talk about hate speech, but you could talk about black men. You could talk about black women. You can, and you'll have 1,500, 2,000 sisters in there, or 1,500, 2,000 black men in there. And they all spreading hate towards each other. They all spreading hate to each other. Understand how this shit work. You can't, man, trust me. This is the new wave. That's why I showed y'all what they was doing yesterday with less technology. Now with new technology, what the fuck do you think they doing now? Wake up, man. It's time to unify or die. We ain't got time for it. Anybody, listen to me. Anybody that's talking shit about black men or talking shit about black women in this time, turn them off. Turn them off. We need unity. We need positivity. We need love. We need to be taught. We need to be trying to find common ground. If all your content is about destroying each other, you should question them people. Then you watch the leadership, right? These so-called leadership where people supposed to have following, they don't get along. They fight amongst each other. And then all their little minions start to fight amongst each other. Agents of chaos. See what they do? They come in, they place them in these algorithms where they get large followings, right? And then those two groups begin to fight each other. And then the people that watch them, that subscribe, those subscribers begin to fight each other. And then you just have agents of chaos. Everybody's fighting in gang war. It's kind of like Milana Karenga and the Black Panthers. All government controlled by the leaders. They create dissension groups. They start fighting each other. And all the soldiers are the ones that got killed or went to jail. Bobby Seale chilling. Milana Karenga chilling. Bobby Hutton dead. Fred Hampton dead. Bunchy Carter dead. I can go on and on and on. Bunch of them went to jail. So now you're watching this YouTube and you're not getting along with people all across YouTube because your YouTube parents are FBI controlled. They're having a fake war amongst each other and got y'all fighting amongst each other. So remember, I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator most high that these words are enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information. And when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that you share this information on all the social media mechanisms that we use to get the message across. It's time that we had this conversation. It's time that you be careful who you're giving your currency to. Currency meaning time and attention. If it ain't about the development and uplifting of black men and black women, leave it alone. Some of you sisters, you got sons. Be careful with some of these women you follow with. All they talk shit about is black men. Some of you brothers, you got daughters. Be careful with some of these channels you watch where all they talk shit about is black women. Be careful what you give what you subject your mind to. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. You can watch what you want to watch, but I'm giving you the forewarning. I'm telling you what's happening now. This is the new place. This is the new place. This is where the counterintelligence and all that shit is. Right here. So remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Deuces. Make sure y'all supporting Urban Nerds, man.